Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. In this one today, we're going to be comparing each of the different gauntlets on Ancient Evil and determining which one is the best. Now, when we do videos on this series, we have to include criteria, and the criteria for this video is going to be the damage, accessibility, or how easy it is to obtain and upgrade this gauntlet, and the ease of use, or how easy it is to use the gauntlets against zombies. For those who are new, we are going to be putting each of these wonder weapons into each criteria, giving them a score of 1 to 10 for each, and at the end, whichever has the most amount of points wins overall. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Coming into our first criteria, we have the damage, and our first gauntlet that we are going to be looking at is the Hand of Gaia. Now with this one, it is very decent when it comes to the damage. With the gauntlets in Black Ops 4, there are two that have a continuous charge shot where you can just hold down the trigger and they do their effect, and there are two that have a normal charge shot where you have to hold the trigger down and then release it to unleash their full effect. The Hand of Gaia uses a normal charge shot mechanic, and out of both the normal charge shot gauntlets, it is by far the worst. It has the potential to kill a full horde of 24 zombies, but it is very difficult to use. I'm going to be giving this gauntlet a 7 out of 10 when it comes to the damage, because with a full charge shot, this gauntlet can kill a full horde, but they have to be standing in a straight line. If there are zombies scattered everywhere around the map, which on BR4 is very likely, then you won't ever get the full effect of this wonder weapon. Overall, on paper, the damage for the Hand of Gaia is really solid, but in practical use, it's really rare to reach this weapon's full potential. Moving into our next gauntlet, we have the Hand of Chimera. Now, when it comes to the damage, this gauntlet isn't the best. It does operate on a continuous charge, which means it does take time to kill the zombies, and it also has the potential to kill a full horde. But with the small radius of effect, it'll take too much ammo to kill a decent amount of zombies. With this in mind, I'm gonna be giving this gauntlet a 5 out of 10 when it comes to the damage. It is way too complicated to figure out how much ammo it would take to kill a full horde, and even if you're put into a situation where they were all gathered up into a full horde and they're really close to one another, it just wouldn't be as effective as most of the other gauntlets on this list. So for the most part, you won't ever find a situation where this gauntlet would be the most effective when it comes to dealing damage to zombies. Now, coming into our next gauntlet, we have the Hand of Oranos. Now, this gauntlet is yet again another continuous charge shot wonder weapon, which at first doesn't really seem too beneficial, but in terms of damage, it is much more reliable than the Hand of Chimera. It shoots directly in front of the player, almost acting like a thunder gun, which in a lot of situations means that you can take down a full horde without spending as much ammo as you would with the Hand of Chimera. I'm going to be giving this gauntlet a 7 out of 10 when it comes to the damage. It is similar to the Hand of Gaia, even though they have a completely different charge system. Overall, it still shoots all the zombies that are in front of the player in a straight line. It could take a few more ammo than the Hand of Gaia to kill a full horde, but it is still much more reliable than the Hand of Chimera. And with our last gauntlet, we have the Hand of Charon. Now with this gauntlet, it is the second of the two normal charge shot gauntlets, and it is the strongest out of all the gauntlets when it comes to damage. It can kill a full horde and a few more zombies because it leaves a puddle on the floor that stays and kills zombies for a few more seconds after the initial impact. I'm gonna give this gauntlet a 9 out of 10 when it comes to the damage. Not only is it the best of the gauntlets when it comes to damage because it's the only one that can kill more than a full horde of 24 zombies with a single charge shot, but the radius and monkey bomb effect makes it really consistent as well. The only downside is that it takes a while to kill the zombies once they fall into the puddle. The puddle size is also not as big as some of the other effects of the other gauntlets, which does kind of suck, but like I said before, you don't really have to worry about that because the puddle acts like a monkey bomb once put on the floor. Overall, it is the best gauntlet when it comes to damage. With the end of our first round, we have the Hand of Chimera being the worst with 5 points. When it comes to damage, due to the bad radius and inconsistency with killing zombies, this gauntlet is just not that effective. In second and third place, we have a tie between the Hand of Gaia and the Hand of Oranos with 7 points for being really effective when it comes to the damage, but not as effective as the Hand of Charon, which takes a leap into first place with 9 points for being one of the best wonder weapons, period, when it comes to damage overall. Moving into our next criteria, we have accessibility. Starting off with our first gauntlet, the Hand of Gaia. This one is actually pretty easy to get and upgrade. Now, for the upgrade process, I'm gonna be mainly talking about the first two, which is getting the gauntlet normally and then upgrading it to the redeemed hand. With that in mind, I'm gonna be giving this gauntlet an 8 out of 10 when it comes to accessibility. The upgrade process is by far the easiest out of all the gauntlets. All you do is shoot 3 stones on random trees, then you carry the seedling back to the spot where you obtain the hand, and you're pretty much done. If you keep one zombie alive, this can be done pretty easily and is overall the easiest out of all the other upgrade processes. Coming into our next gauntlet, we have the Hand of Chimera. Now, this gauntlet is not the easiest to upgrade, but it's not that bad either. Compared to the Hand of Gaia, it is actually very similar, where you have to shoot 3 things and then carry back something to the shrine. But with this one, you have a time limit for how long you can carry each item that you have to run around with, which does make it a little bit harder. Overall, I'm gonna give this hand a 7 out of 10 when it comes to accessibility. With the Hand of Gaia and the Hand of Chimera, they are the first 2 gauntlets that you will most likely make because they aren't located at the center of the world like the other 2 gauntlets. Not only is making them easier, but upgrading them isn't too much of a hassle either. Now, moving into our next gauntlet, we have the Hand of Oranos. This hand is not too bad to build on its own compared to building a staff on Origins or a bow on Drak. It's actually pretty easy, but when you compare it to other gauntlets on this map, it's actually somewhat difficult. I'm gonna give this gauntlet a 6 out of 10 when it comes to accessibility. In order to get the redeemed Hand of Oranos, you have to kill zombies while facing towards an arrow outside of the map, which in of itself is already harder to do than the Hand of Gaia or Chimera. Then afterwards, you have to shoot a feather 2 times in order to get it out of the sky and move it towards the shrine for the redeemed Hand of Oranos. Overall, when it comes to this upgrade process, it is very different from the Hand of Gaia and the Hand of Chimera. It does require a few more steps that are a bit more challenging, but it still shouldn't be too hard to make and upgrade. And with our last gauntlet, we have the Hand of Charon. Now, this gauntlet is by far the hardest to make out of all the other gauntlets that we've talked about so far, solely because it requires the most amount of zombie kills, and there is a pretty tough twist to how you obtain this hand. When it comes to the accessibility, I'm gonna give this gauntlet a 5 out of 10. For the first step of upgrading this gauntlet, you have to get a few kills in front of the Odin perk statue, which is the only gauntlet where you have to get more than 3 kills to upgrade it. Afterwards, you have to hold the interact button over this pool of blood, which will disable your regeneration until you collect 3 coins scattered around the center of the world. To make this step harder, there are false coins mixed in with the correct coins that can completely throw off the player. Compared to building a staff, this gauntlet isn't too bad to upgrade, but compared to the other gauntlets, it is by far the hardest. With the end of our second round, we have the Hand of Chimera still in last place with 12 points. It did have some pretty good accessibility, but it still wasn't enough to beat out the Hand of Oranos with 13 points. Right above that, still having a pretty solid placement, is the Hand of Charon with 14 points. Even though it is the worst with accessibility, it still dominates in the top 2 because of its great amount of damage and unique effect. And surprisingly, taking our first place for the second round is the Hand of Gaia with 15 points for having solid damage and being the easiest out of all the hands to build and upgrade. Now, moving into our last criteria, we have ease of use. With the Hand of Gaia, the ease of use isn't the best compared to the other gauntlets. First off, it has a normal charge shot, which puts you at a disadvantage because you have nothing to defend yourself while charging it up. Not only that, but in order to kill a large amount of zombies, they have to be in a straight line, which doesn't make it easy to kill zombies with this weapon. I'm gonna give this gauntlet a 5 out of 10 when it comes to ease of use. It is not the best by any means, and with the super long charge rate, it doesn't really help this weapon out whatsoever. One other thing I don't really like about this weapon's ease of use is the fact that sometimes the charge shots won't kill zombies, but instead will only knock them over, which can ruin hordes and make it more difficult to use. Overall, it isn't the best of the gauntlets when it comes to ease of use, nor is it even that good as just a normal wonder weapon. Coming into our next gauntlet, we have the Hand of Chimera. Now, this one is better in some ways than the Hand of Gaia, but not by a lot. When it comes to ease of use, it does have a continuous attack, which is good because it instantly hits all zombies wherever you aim. The big issue is that it takes a while to fully aim in one direction. What I mean by this is that once the beam from the sky comes down and you need to move it around to a different area, it doesn't immediately go where you want it to. It has a short delay that can be somewhat hard to control. Overall though, I'm gonna give this gauntlet a 6 out of 10 when it comes to ease of use. Compared to the Hand of Gaia, it is better because of the continuous charge. This comes with huge advantages when keeping you safe because all you have to do is look down and hold the trigger to kill all the zombies around you. When compared to other wonder weapons in zombies, it might not be the best because of that delay, but it still is somewhat solid when it comes to ease of use. Now moving into our third gauntlet, we have the Hand of Oranos. Now the ease of use with this gauntlet is actually really solid. The continuous charge shot almost acts like a thunder gun that pushes all the zombies out of the way. It does take a few seconds to kick in and kill multiple zombies, which can somewhat put you at a disadvantage for higher rounds. I'm gonna give the Hand of Oranos a 7 out of 10 when it comes to ease of use. Compared to the other gauntlets on this list, this one is by far the best at keeping you safe. You can activate it anytime and instantly remove all of the zombies out of your way. Not only that, but it has a continuous charge shot which can rip through all the zombies instantly. The only reason I can't put it higher on this list is because of the delay it has when killing zombies in the higher rounds. If you hold it for too long, it can burn ammo and also slow you down, but other than that, it is a fairly good wonder weapon when it comes to ease of use. And with our last gauntlet, we have the Hand of Charon. Now, at first, it may seem like this gauntlet has a really bad ease of use because it uses a normal charge shot instead of a continuous one, which leaves you vulnerable for a short period of time, but with the monkey bomb effect put on top of it, this easily becomes one of the best gauntlets in terms of ease of use. I'm gonna give this gauntlet an 8 out of 10 when it comes to ease of use. It doesn't provide the biggest area of effect, nor does it kill these zombies super fast, but with the monkey bomb effect that it gives you after every charge shot, it's hard to say that it isn't easy to use. Even if you aren't killing zombies, this is just by far one of the best wonder weapons to have to keep yourself and teammates safe. For the Easter egg, you buy yourself a lot of time, and if you are stuck in a tricky situation, the moment that the charge shot hits the floor, you are instantly safe for about 10 to 20 seconds. And with all of our criteria finished up, our final scores are as follows. In last place, we have the Hand of Chimera with 18 points. It can be easy to build and upgrade compared to most of the other gauntlets, but it doesn't provide a good enough damage or ease of use to be considered one of the best. It is good for some situations, but overall you're going to have a better chance at using any other gauntlet. Tied for second place with 20 points, we have the Hand of Gaia and the Hand of Oranos. The Hand of Gaia is really good for a quick, easy to upgrade wonder weapon. It also provides a decent amount of damage, but when it comes to ease of use, it's just not the most practical to use. The Hand of Oranos, on the other hand, is quite the opposite. It's a bit more challenging to create, but once created, it can provide a great amount of protection since it is easy to use. It is also really effective when it comes to damage, but not as effective in both of these aspects when compared to the best gauntlet with 22 points, which hands down is the Hand of Charon. With the monkey bomb effect, you can kill more than a full horde of 24 zombies very easily with just one charge shot. It can keep you safe at all times as well. The only challenging part is actually obtaining and upgrading it. But compared to other wonder weapons in zombies, it's not that bad. I'd even consider this to be one of the greatest wonder weapons of all time, if only it had a bit more ammo. Anyways guys, it's going to wrap up this video for today. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, do all that. So leave your comments down below if you want to see me do any other type of content. And yeah, I got nothing much else to say, so peace.